So the next concept is equation of simple harmonic travelling wave. So what is the meaning of this one? We know that the wave pattern of the simple harmonic wave is like this. Once it is started with some amplitude, the same amplitude is maintained in the negative scale also. The same amplitude again repeats itself on the positive scale. If these are the simple harmonic motions, this is the starting point, x is equal to 0 and at t is also 0. And at the same time, this is a position P, and at this position P, we can expect some phase lag, means a phase is lagged towards the mean position or the origin position. So then, the general equation of simple harmonic motion is like this. SHM y is equal to a sin kx. What is this k? 2 pi by lambda. So what we can understand is y is equal to a sin 2 pi by lambda into x whenever there is a phase lag between from point P to O, whether it is traveling from O to A, next A to B and B to C, but at P phase lag, and expect a phase lag at P. Therefore, this equation will be written as a sin kx minus omega t. Actually, we should prove this equation. This is the equation of the simple harmonic travelling wave. But what are the initial conditions to prove this? We will go and check now. So, at the beginning stage, the displacement of the wave can be written as y is equal to a sin omega t. It is a simple function of a sine function with angular velocity omega. When the phase is lagged towards the origin with a time interval of phi naught or phase constant of phi naught, then in reverse direction y will become a sin omega t minus phi naught or phi. So we know that phi is equal to kx, where k is propagation constant, but we can write k as 2 pi by lambda into x. And in the same equation we can write omega as 2 pi by capital T also, because time period is equal to 2 pi by omega. Now I am substituting this pi value and omega value in this equation or equation 2. So substituting phi and omega in equation 2. Therefore, y is equal to a sin, where omega is 2 pi by t, into small t, minus phi naught is equal to 2 pi by lambda into x. Therefore, y is equal to a sin, I am taking 2 pi by lambda as common from the both terms which were in the brackets. So 2 pi by lambda into this is lambda into small t by capital T minus x. So therefore it is a sin 2 pi by lambda. Lambda by t, wavelength by time, is nothing but the velocity. Therefore, we can write Vt minus x. So, therefore, V is equal to lambda by t. So, this is the general expression of a simple harmonic wave. It was similar to a sin kx minus omega t. Again we wrote k is equal to 2 pi by lambda, omega is equal to 2 pi by t, we will get Vt minus x only. So this value is similar here. So like that we can prove that the velocity of the simple harmonic wave is simply according to its basic propagations. Now we will observe what are the velocities, accelerations in the simple harmonic travelling wave. Now we will discuss the particle velocity in the simple harmonic motion. So first, particle velocity. We know that velocity is equal to rate of change in displacement. So therefore, d by dt into what is y? In simple harmonic motion, y is written as like this: a sine omega t minus kx. So a sine omega t minus kx is the function. Now we should differentiate this whole term with respect to the time. Therefore, velocity is equal to a into d by dt of sine omega t minus kx. Therefore, a into d by dt of sine omega t minus kx. Now, where t is a function of sine omega, so differentiation of sine omega is cos omega, and omega is also comes first. Therefore, v is equal to a omega cos omega t minus kx. Therefore, v is equal to v max into cos omega t minus kx. What is this v max? Maximum velocity. Therefore, v max is equal to maximum velocity is equal to a omega. We know that omega is equal to 2 pi by t. Now I am substituting this 2 pi by t in that equation. Therefore, v max is equal to 2 pi by capital T into a. Therefore, v max is equal to 2 pi a by t. This is the maximum velocity attained by the simple harmonic travelling wave. So the next concept is particle acceleration in simple harmonic motion. So it is particle acceleration. So what we can understand is, we know that velocity is equal to a omega cos omega t minus kx. Acceleration is rate of change in velocity, dv by dt. Therefore, it is d by dt of a omega cos omega t minus kx. So in this case, acceleration is equal to a omega is outside, and we should differentiate d by dt of cos omega t minus kx. Therefore, it is a omega into differentiation of cos theta minus sin theta. Therefore, it is omega sin omega t. Therefore, it is minus, or we can write into minus omega sin omega t minus kx. Therefore, it is minus omega square a into sin omega t minus kx. So therefore, a is equal to, we can write a max into sin omega t minus kx. If we compare these two equations, we can write a max is equal to minus omega square a. Here a max is acceleration The right side A is amplitude. So therefore, A max is equal to, we know that omega is equal to 2 pi by t. Therefore, negative scale is representing the phase difference between displacement and acceleration. Therefore, it is 2 pi by t whole square A. Therefore, the answer is 4 pi square by t square. This is A max. Next, we will check the phase difference in the same case. Next, we will check about the phase and phase difference. We know that y is equal to A sine omega t minus kx plus phi naught. We know that phi naught is the phase, initial phase. So omega is equal to 2 pi by capital T, k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Now I am substituting this omega and k values in the first equation. Therefore, y can be written as A sine 2 pi small t by capital T minus 2 pi by lambda into x plus phi naught. I can take the 2 pi as common. Therefore, y is equal to A sine 2 pi into small t by capital T minus x by lambda plus phi naught. This is very important to find out the phase difference. Where phi naught is 0, this is the initial phase. Then y is equal to A sine 2 pi into t by t minus x by lambda. Now we will find out the phase difference by considering this one as phase. So now this is the equation we got in the previously. So from this equation we can write phase is equal to phi is equal to t by t minus x by lambda into 2 pi plus phi naught. Now we will discuss this phase, variation of phase with time and with position. So variation of phase with time. So the initial equation is this one. Phi is equal to 2 pi into t by t minus x by lambda plus phi naught. Now we are finding with time. So from this expression we can say that phi is proportional to small t. Therefore, phi 1 is equal to 2 pi into t1 by capital T minus x by lambda plus phi naught, and phi 2 is equal to 2 pi into t2 by capital T minus x by lambda plus phi naught. Now I am finding phi 2 minus phi 1. If you see the phi 2 minus phi 1, this phi naught and phi naught gets cancelled out. Therefore, it is 2 pi by 2 pi into t2 by t minus x by lambda minus t1 by t plus x by lambda. So this plus x by lambda minus x by lambda gets cancelled out. So we will get 2 pi by capital T into t2 minus t1 is equal to phi 2 minus phi 1. We know that this time difference T2 minus T1 is equal to capital T. So if I substitute the values, we will get phi 2 minus phi 1 is equal to 2 pi. So with respect to the time, the phase difference is equal to 2 pi in case of simple harmonic motion. Now we will think about the phase difference and variation of phase with position. So variation of phase with position. So in this case, what we can understand is x values are going to change, x1 to x2. T is constant. So phi is equal to, so we know that phase difference equation phi is equal to 2 pi into small t by capital T minus x by lambda plus phi naught. Now we should show the variation of phase with position. That's why pi is proportional to x in this equation. Therefore phi is equal to 2 pi into t by t. I am writing phi 1. Therefore phi 1 is equal to 2 pi into t by t minus x1 by lambda plus phi naught, and phi 2 is equal to 2 pi into t by t minus x2 by lambda plus phi naught. Now I am finding phi 2 minus phi 1. So if you did this calculation, phi naught will get cancelled. Therefore 2 pi into t by t minus x2 by lambda minus t by t plus x1 by lambda. Minus t by t plus t by t gets cancelled. Therefore 2 pi into x1 minus x2 by lambda. x2 minus x1 is x, but x1 minus x2 is minus x. Therefore it is 2 pi by lambda into minus lambda. The change in the positions is nothing but the wavelength. Therefore it is minus 2 pi. Here the minus indicates lag in phase with position. With position. So like this we can prove the variation of phase with respect to time and position. So this is the numerical which is based on the concept of the parameters of simple harmonic travelling wave. The content of the numerical is the equation of a transverse wave travelling along a coil spring is y is equal to 4.0 sin phi into 0.010 x minus 2.0 t, where x and y are in centimeter and t in seconds. Find amplitude, wavelength, initial phase at the origin, speed and frequency of the wave. The given equation y is equal to 4.0 into sin pi into 0.010 x minus 2.0 t. The standard equation of SHM is y is equal to a sin 2 pi by lambda into x minus Vt plus phi naught. This is the standard equation. If you compare this equation 1 which was given with the equation standard, then amplitude A is equal to 4 centimeters. Because A is compared to 4, so where x and y are in centimeters, that's why we should write 4 centimeters. So the first bit was over. See the second bit, wavelength. Here it is pi into 0.10x is equal to 2 pi by lambda into x. x and x gets cancelled, pi and pi gets cancelled, therefore 2 by lambda is equal to 0.010, where lambda is equal to 2 by 0.10. So this will be 200 centimeter. We can write this one as 2 meters. So the second bit was also over. So the third bit we should find out initial phase. Symbol is phi naught. Here phi naught is in the standard equation, but in the given equation there is no phi naught. So we can treat that phi naught is 0 or 0 degrees. The fourth one, so third bit was also over. See the fourth one, speed v. If you see the comparison, 2 pi t is equal to 2 pi by lambda vt. Two pi, t and t gets cancelled. Therefore, we will get v is equal to lambda. But what is the lambda? 2 meters. Therefore, velocity is equal to 2 meters per second. The last bit, frequency. Nu is equal to, we know that v is equal to nu lambda, nu is equal to v by lambda. V is equal to 2 meters per second, lambda is equal to 2 meters, therefore we will get 1 second inverse, nothing but 1.0 Hz. Like that, we can find out the parameters that were related to the simple harmonic wave motion. The next concept is reflection of waves. So, there are two waves, one is transverse wave, second one is longitudinal wave. So, first case is reflection of transverse waves. In this case, so what we can understand is, there are two subcases in the reflection of transverse waves, at denser medium, at rarer medium. Reflection at denser medium. Here, denser medium means we can say a rigid support. So, this is the support. One string is connected to this perpendicularly. Now, a waveform is created in the string because of the disturbance applied perpendicularly in this direction. So, like this, try to imagine. Then, the loop which was created in a form of wave, it is moving towards the rigid support. this is the first position. These pictures all according to the time. As the time taking to reach this, the time will change. So this is the first position. After some time, this peak will move to some more distance. After some time, the same peak will move to more distance. That means the disturbance which was created in the initial position of the string, which is connected to the rigid end and second end is free, this whole loop formation which was in the upper surface is reaching towards the denser medium or nothing but the rigid support. And what happens is this rigid supports or denser medium doesn't allow any overshots towards it. That's why this rigid support will act as a reflector of the sound with same intensity. So doesn't allow any overshoots. Therefore, this might be the picture after some time. Same wave which will be reversed when it is collided with rigid support. Then the pictures will be reversed like this. With same amplitude, in the down peak, it will move towards the source. Next, it will reach. So like this, the wave which doesn't allow us to overshoot through the denser medium, it will be reflected back. In cases of transverse waves, the incident amplitude and the reversed amplitude will meet at one point if two ends are fixed. But at one end fixed and one end free, it is not possible. Now we will observe the reflection of the same transverse wave at a rarer medium. Next we will observe the reflection of the same transverse waves in rarer medium. Now we will take, it's not a rigid support, it is a simple support, maybe it is made up of some plastic or any hand support with some circular ring like this. Like this. Now a string is fixed to it and I have created a loop by disturbing it in perpendicular direction. Now this loop is traveling towards the rarer medium. Means this crest and troughs, the crest which is formed or the in the transverse wave which is in the upper case, it is traveling through the string towards the rarer medium without changing its intensity or amplitude. Next one. Like this. The next one. And the last step, we can say that but the circular ring allows the overshoots of this wave through it. Because it is a circular ring, some hollowness is there, that's why it will allow the overshoots. That's why this wave can transmit some part of it to the medium. Or we can draw like this. But Because of this overshoot, the crest which doesn't reverse polarized, it will move back towards the source. So it is mentioned in directions. Like this. So in case of the reflection of transverse waves at rarer medium, like this type of little strings, phase difference is 0 because the incident wave, reflected wave, they all will move in the same direction. But crest maintained to be crest after the reflection, trough maintained to be trough after the reflection. But in case of the denser medium, crest becoming trough and trough becoming crest, there is a phase difference in case of denser medium. Here also the maximum amplitude is not possible. Once it is fixed at two ends, then it is possible. The next concept is reflection of longitudinal waves. Again the same subclassification. First class is reflection at rigid supports, nothing but denser medium. So what we can understand from this concept is longitudinal wave is a combination of compression and rarefaction. Compression and rarefaction. That means a compressed wave is traveling along the string. Once it touches the rigid support, and this compression and rigid supports touch each other at a point of time, this rigid support experiences the force and which creates a force of reaction within it. So if compression is applied force, let us say it is F. This compression touches the rigid support of the denser medium, then it will create as a force of reaction. So it will turn as force of reaction. So according to the Newton's third law of motion, applied force is equal to the force of reaction but opposite in direction. So this opposite in direction we can treat as opposite in phase. That means if a compression is passing towards the rigid support, it will turn as a rarefaction. So compression turns to rarefaction and rarefaction turns to compression. That means when a longitudinal wave traveling through a rigid support, nothing but a denser medium, when it touches it, it's the compression reversed back like rarefaction, and vice versa, nothing but rarefaction reversed back like compression by opposite in polarity of 180 degrees. So the next concept, next subtopic in this is reflection at free surfaces. Free surfaces are also called as rarer medium. So initially a longitudinal wave has started, and while it is traveling towards the rarer medium, a rarer medium is also called as a free surface. So being the free in the surface, this free surface won't create a much force of reaction to oppose the motion of the longitudinal wave. That means its extension for the reaction force is very less. So that's why a compression will reverse as a compression and a rarefaction will reverse as a rarefaction, because of the free surface doesn't offer any resistance. So therefore free surface doesn't offer any resistance to the propagation therefore a compression reversed as compression and rarefaction reversed as rarefaction. Reversed as compression and rarefaction reversed as rarefaction. Because surface free doesn't offer any resistance. The next concept is superposition principle. So what is this superposition? Overlapping on each other. So what we can understand from this concept is, if suppose there are two waves, two longitudinal waves or two transverse waves, they are traveling along the same medium at the same time. So they will try to overlap on each other. But at some points when they meet together, the resultant displacement of those two waves is equal to the vector sum of the individual displacements. This is called superposition principle. If two waves are traveling through the same media or the same medium, then its resultant amplitude is equal to vector sum of individual amplitudes. That means this is one wave. Let us say it is A, another wave is B. The solid line is representing a wave A, dotted lines representing the wave B. They both are traveling through the same media by maintaining some amplitude difference, that's it. So this gap is the amplitude difference. So at the point of contact, means here, they used to meet together in the same media. So for this purpose, in this case, the one which is with a lesser amplitude will become the trough of the crest. So this picture will be drawn like this. So we can draw a resultant vector like this. So this is A, this is B, this is B, this is A. So this is R. So the resultant vector is the vector sum of, or the resultant displacement is the vector sum of two individual vectors or two individual sound waves of the different amplitudes. So therefore we can write Y is equal to Y1 plus Y2 and so on Yn. This interference is called constructive interference. Constructive interference which has the maximum amplitude and intensity. maximum amplitude and intensity. Here one end is fixed, another end is free. In these cases we can expect the constructive interference or constructive the resultant phenomena. But what about the destructive interference in case of the superposition? So what about the destructive interference? So in case of destructive interference, both the ends are free, or otherwise they are fixed with some free surfaces, not like rigid supports. So one is creating the loop like this, and at the free surfaces it will be reversed back like this. Then it will move towards. So they both will move together and move relatively, and here also you get a loop formed like this. If two ends are fixed with rigid support or any free surfaces, these two, the wave which was incident will be reflected back with the same intensity and same amplitude in the opposite direction. Then they both will create overlap on each other, and it creates a standing wave. Initially in the constructive interference we have observed the progressive wave, a wave which is progressed. So when a wave is progressed towards the further distances, it will create the constructive interference. But it is not the progressive wave, it was reflected back and they created the standing wave. What are the uses of this superposition principle? If two sound waves or two waves of same amplitude or same frequency traveling through the same medium, then it creates the standing wave. It is used to understand the formation of the earthquakes and many other physical phenomena. But if the two waves are slightly differ in the frequency, it can create the beats. So it is mu1 minus mu2, nothing but change in frequency. So what we can understand is, if the two waves which are traveling in the same medium of the same frequency, they can create a standing wave like a loop formation. So how many standing waves they can create with the help of these rigid boundaries? It is nothing but the mode of vibrations. If it is change in frequency, they can create beats.